Hello there and welcome into the Drop Spot. Great to have you guys here. It's me, Adam Savage. Another episode coming your way talking about all things Fortnite competitive. And boy, do we have a show for you. Loads to catch you up on. Lots has been happening in the Fortnite competitive space. Global Championships only just happened. We're going to break it all down for you. But of course, it's not just myself. I'm joined by two brilliant guests, almighty guests, who I'm so excited to have here. The almighty SBG, Kelly Link. What is up, guys? It's so good to see you. I'm really excited because it's been a great kind of time in Fortnite. But seeing your lovely faces and hearing from you two makes it all the more rosier. So I'm having a great time right now. First things first, we've got to jump in here. SBG, you've just become a father for the first time. Congratulations, buddy. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. And you were the first one to call me somebody's dad. So you didn't know at the time, but you were actually right.
Yeah, this is right. You know, he loves a woolly sweater. He likes dressing like a father. Now he, as a namesake, is legit too. Kelly, how are you? You've just returned from Copenhagen. You were there in person at Globals. How are you feeling? Have you recovered from all the jet lag and all the craziness?
I honestly never recovered from the jet lag going to Copenhagen. So coming back was really easy because I never changed my sleep schedule. It was absolutely amazing. It's a bittersweet moment because you're so excited to see like everything culminate into this beautiful event. And for now it to be over, you know, I'm sad leaving Copenhagen, leaving all the players, all of my friends in the talent team and being here. But I'm excited to be here, so it's all better.
That's great. And of course, you know, your losses are gained because even though you're not there anymore, we can find out all about what it was like to be there in person. We're going to break it all down for you, whether you're listening or watching the show here. We have got it all for you and we're going to lay it all out. But just to get you up to speed on what's happening in today's show, we have ourselves, obviously, Global Champs talking all about exactly how that unfolded. We, of course, have the illustrious quiz. I know, Kelly, you can't wait for this. You are so really excited. She looks really excited.
Listen, I was informed that other people got 0 points, so I'm now more confident than I've ever been. I was just like, oh, I'm going to be the first person to get 0 points here. But that's no longer an issue, so I'm fine.
Hey, you are absolutely fine. Don't worry, you're fine. And plus, you're playing against SBG, so things will be totally fine. Also, you have swear. Sorry, low blow. I'm sorry. 2023's format and the future of Fortnite we'll talk about as well, and competitive and upcoming tournaments too. There's still loads happening in the competitive space right now in Fortnite too. So we'll break that all down for you. But let's just dive in. Obviously, of course, the Global Championships. It only happened recently. SBG, you and I are watching from home with massive FOMO. Kelly, you were there in person. Let's just get into what it was actually like. First of all, how was it? A very basic kind of question, but one that I think we want to know. How was the experience? SBG, I'll ask you first. Being at home as a spectator, how did you find it, buddy?
I think it was awesome. I mean, from beginning to end, cinematics isn't the right word, but like seeing the opening sequence for the stage was really cool to watch. And then I love Fortnite, so I'm like way too biased, but I love watching the game and just watching game after game. It was a lot of fun to enjoy, and just the overall weekend was a blast. Obviously, like you just said, I had a kid, so didn't get to watch it all as it happened, but I caught most of it and then watched the rest after I had some time the past week.
You weren't changing diapers while watching like the 1v2 or anything? No, you had to like actually separate yourself?
No, I couldn't get myself to do that. But luckily, like Saturday and Sunday were a little more relaxed. Friday was a little tough.
Yeah, I bet. I absolutely loved it. I mean, for me, I always say, and I've been saying this for a decade now, that esports, half of esports is the story. And I think that the story that we got to have with the FNCS this year was absolutely incredible. The fact that the story started all the way back with Major 1, with the first set of teams going through into the Global Championships, and then all the way through having it like build up this kind of like, almost anxiety, but like, excited anxiety, and even having the last chance major where the teams go to the lower bracket, which we've never seen before, having it be a 3-day tournament, and each day was essentially its own tournament with new teams and like, a new like drop map and everything. It just built up into such an exciting moment. And that exciting moment being Miro and Cooper walking away in first place. And even their story is amazing, but we'll talk about them in a minute.
We will definitely talk about them because there's loads to digest about what they managed to do, which was just absolutely kind of otherworldly almost. I mean, that kind of opening kind of, I guess, Zeke's introduction to the whole show as well. was it was breathtaking watching it, because you could see, you could feel as well the kind of like the crowd. You could feel the energy as well in the arena was just absolutely out of control. I mean, what was it like being there as well, Kelly? Like, seeing that kind of like that introduction and kind of like everything play out as it did in that kind of opening day of the tournament.
It was emotional, all right? Like, so as someone that has been in esports for about a decade now, and that has done my fair share of show opens the way that Zeke did, it is so stressful. I will be practicing my monologue for days beforehand and going over to my head. And Zeke was doing the same thing during like our 2 days of rehearsal. He was like talking to everyone, all the talent, all the like the different production people, like going through his intro, his monologue, and asking about like advice, tips, and anything. And he was like change it little bit by little bit, right? But literally like the day before he's supposed to do it. And we like me and Mini Minor, when we were up there, were like, dude, just like go in there confident, like you got this, you're gonna own it. And he goes up there, and this face of Fortnite, Zeke has been there since the beginning, and we all see him as the like, what's up, Fortnite fam? And I say that with love. I say that with so much love. And he just slays it. He doesn't miss a beat. It's the perfect amount of dramatic, but also like Zeke, fun, casual. And then to toss it into the absolutely amazing stage reveal, which you were saying, SPG, just like, it was so cool and it was so amazing. And it really set the tone for the show. I couldn't have been happier. Me and Minnie, when we were on the analyst desk and Zeke came back to us after that moment, were freaking out.
That's so cool, especially because like we all know how much Zeke cares, and he doesn't want to like be the face. All he does is want to give it the proper moment, and he absolutely crushed it. So shout out to Zeke, always being there, always crushing it.
Yeah, big love, Big Z. Love to see it. It was. I think that was that. You're right. It was the entire spectacle too, like the augmented reality I loved, and the kind of meshing of like the battle bus morphing into like the guy dropping out of the bus and then plummeting towards. I mean, the map. It was just really special. It was really special.
You know what's crazy? Course, I'm sorry, but like you think that's augmented reality? That was all the stage. None of that was like
really?
Superimposed. Yes. Isn't that crazy? It looked like it was like a fake 3D, like what we saw from previous lands. No, that was all the stage. It looked like that in person too. It was wild.
It was like coming out of me at home. I was like, like on the screen. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that. That's incredible. I mean, that just shows the level of like, the entertainment side of things as well here, and kind of like the spectacle that it was, as we said here. But, we wanted to see entertainment, we wanted drama, and we got exactly that. And, you already kind of shout out there, our winners there, Miro and Cooper. I mean, SBG, this was a performance. We did not expect this duo necessarily to win this competition, but boy, did they do it with aplomb, and the tactics. I mean, what were you impressed by with this duo who actually managed to win global championships?
Well, I think mostly I was impressed by the capability and the calmness of the duo. I mean, Miro is one who historically has gotten some shade for his lack of ability to play on LAN, and clearly that's gone. When you win the biggest event of the year, you can't talk anymore. And then Cooper is a player that's fairly new to IGLing or leading his duo, and you're leading the best controller player of all time. So he not only does that, but does that perfectly throughout the 6 games. And there's mistakes here or there, but they compensate for that. And ultimately Cooper stepped up to Miro's level. We know Miro's a 5-time champion. Cooper, champion now himself. I mean, the two, I can't say enough good things about these two, because it was just such confident gameplay. And then ultimately, if you told me this team would win by pretty much a game's worth of points, I would have told you you're absolutely wrong. There's no way that happens. But that's what this duo did.
Yeah, I would say that it was the case for almost everyone. Anyone that put out a prediction list, they didn't have Miro or Cooper, and they were definitely overlooked. And I think a lot of that, and I'm going to go back to the story of esports, was the story that Cooper and Miro told from the beginning. They made it through the last chance major. They made it through the lower bracket. So a lot of people kind of just overlooked them for the teams that already qualified through majors 1 through 3. And for them to do that, and the story of the coin flip, which I'm sure most people watching or listening already know, the fact that Miro almost retired from Fortnite, but let it all come down to a coin flip of if he was going to be joining Cooper for this year, is just, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to see like a Showtime movie about this eventually.
I hope so.
I mean, the coin flip that sent ripples around the world. That was that. I mean, we kind of you heard about this coin flip, like shall I, shan't I? I mean, a lot of times as well when you mentioned about the kind of Miro saying that he's going to hang up his controller and kind of step away from the game, or the competitive aspect at least. A lot of players, kind of have a few moments throughout their careers, but the accolades that Miro has already, his 6th title. Let's not forget here. Cooper's 4th FNCS final as well. But I mean, Miro's done so much in the game, but so we're kind of like, okay, understandable if you kind of feel that you've achieved, but then to go out there and do global championships, surely that kind of inspires you to want to go back in and say, hey, I still got it, baby. Let's get back in the mix here and carry on going. I mean, SBG, do you think we're going to see the continuation from Miro now? Kind of thinking, I ain't hanging up anything. I'm getting straight back in here.
I think as long as he keeps playing the game and having a passion to play the game, he'll keep winning. He's shown this year after year after year. This is now 3 years in a row that he's won a championship, and he's done it in multiple different game modes, multiple different teammates. So there's literally nothing. And we saw a lot of GOAT debate going on. Like, is Miro in the conversation now? I think he definitely deserves to be in the conversation. And I didn't think before this weekend or the previous weekend that he would even be in that conversation. But then you start going over those accolades like you just mentioned, Adam. It's hard to ignore the greatness of a player like Miro. And now we have Cooper, who's coming on to be one of the greats too. I mean, the kid's just popping off, hitting clips left and right on his stream right now.
I think a lot of people didn't necessarily overlook Miro's accolades, but they put a little caveat to it, being like, oh, well, these accolades were gained because he played with Bugha, the World Cup champ. And between chapters, the end of chapter 2 and the start of chapter 3, that is where a lot of his FNCS championships were won, was by playing with Bugha. But I think by even having that, a lot of people be like, oh, he's not playing with Bugha anymore, and so he's not going to win anymore. By having him show everyone up because of that is just an even greater tale to tell.
It is. I mean, and, the reason being, if you didn't get a chance to watch any of this, please do at some stage go back and watch the VODs of what happened at Globals, because it was unbelievably impressive. Miro, we know as a fragger as well. We know that he has got, the eliminations are such a massive part. Obviously, the combination we always talk about, the fact with, standings, points, and eliminations, but the eliminations are a huge part of this. And the fact that he dealt the most damage in the tournament, I think 5,860 worth of damage, a ratio of twice as much dealt than he received. I mean, his moving with zones, the way that he kind of manages to constantly find a way to be in that end game as well. SPG is I guess what makes him a worthy champion and a player that continuously manages to succeed in competitive Fortnite.
Yeah, so I think 2 things based on that damage. One is you don't typically see controller players, which Miro is, be at the top of the list when it comes to damage when you tally up at the unknown FNCS Grand Final. So first of all, that is extremely impressive. Second of all, going back to the Bugha and Miro championships that they won for FNCS, that was on the back of a lot of solo clutches. And shout out to Cooper for keeping this duo together, keeping both of them alive pretty much every single game to be able to secure as many points as possible. That is a feat in itself because it didn't rely on one player having to do it. It was perfect teamwork, just cohesion in its finest, and then optimizing each game to make sure they're getting as many points as possible and not trying to sacrifice everything to maybe get one more elim or maybe be able to get that victory royale, just securing every single point they could every single game.
Yeah, we know Storm Surge is such a huge kind of wall for a lot of these top level players that separates the tippity top from the other 40 teams that are in our top 50. And Cooper and Miro just had such a good strategy for making sure that they had their Storm Surge tags, that they were able to make it to the end game every single game. I think their worst performance was a 23rd place in the final game, which is still really good. That's still getting placement points. But beyond placing well, they also grabbed eliminations every single game, a handful of them, which just gave them so much. We always say consistency is key. And typically we're talking about placement, but they were consistent through placement and eliminations. It just showed how strong they were overall instead of having just one facet of the competition, down to a pat.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, if you didn't get a chance actually to see what happened in the show, as I mentioned, go back and see it. But the end interview, the opportunity to actually chat to Miro and Coop at the end of the show was something I don't think I'll ever forget. Kelly, you were on the desk when it happened. Let's take a look. If you're watching right now, you can see this. If you're listening, definitely listen into this. This is a clip of exactly what happened when they got a chance to speak to Zeke and the gang on the desk when they just won the global championships.
Can you just, final question, try and dig down, focus.
Yep.
How does it feel? How's it feel?
I mean, honestly, this feels so insane that I hope everybody in the world gets to experience something like this. This is insane. Like, I've never thought from playing video games when I was like a little kid to just sitting on stage in front of this many people is insane. Like, I can't even imagine how many people are watching me right now. This is insane. My mom's watching back home. I love you, Mom. Love my whole family. This is insane.
Cooper?
Absolutely insane.
Feels great.
It feels great. For the fans out there, what will you tell them? Let them know.
Keep moving, man. Life's gonna knock you guys down so many times, even outside of playing video games, and it's just about getting back up. If you stay down, you're gonna stay down. Like, that's how it works. You gotta get up and keep moving. That's my best advice.
Cooper, you want to say anything, man? FNCS Global Champion?
I mean, coming from me especially, just chase your dreams, man. I played this game for 3 years, having little to no earnings, and I'm on the main stage now, being great. Feels good.
That, I mean, I can't really believe that. These are two young lads who've just managed to win themselves global championships. The composure at the age they've got in front of a live audience, and we've done that in front of the world as well. We thought you heard thousands and thousands watching there. Kelly, I mean, you were standing there. I mean, that unbelievably impressive for them to be as mature as they were, and kind of thanking family members. It was so refreshing. I loved it.
It really was. They were so eloquent and put together, and I think having that representation of these very like mature, well-spoken players in any esport is so vital to the competitive scene, and to have them be able to give this message not just of themselves but to other people, to say, you know, I've been playing since I was a kid, to be up here, never give up, is so important for the future of all esports, not just Fortnite.
Yeah, I love that interview. And, you know, there's several that come to mind when I think of like the best interviews with Fortnite players. That one's going to be up there for me. Miro just being a class act, delivering powerful words, which I'm sure at the time he didn't even realize like how powerful that is going to be for some people. And Cooper too, like, not to be overshadowed. Hey, I played this game for a long time. I didn't give up. I kept grinding, and now I'm up here. I'm a champion. Like, shout out to both of them. It was so good.
I do want to say, I think that there was a level of like respect from Cooper towards Miro. He was like, you know, obviously this is my moment as well, but Miro, this has been your journey for so long. Like, I'll let him have like the main word. And I think that there was a lot of respect with that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of respect. I mean, these moments, obviously, you talk about, you know, the introduction, the kind of like the big moments at the end that we saw, the kind of winning interviews. Loads of other moments happen, of course, as well throughout the course of this competition, across the 3 days. Just highlighting a few of them quickly. I mean, Trulex, Chico winning the last 2 games to finish 3rd, contested as Slappy, eliminated off spawn twice. I mean. Quantine TK finished last. I mean, this is really interesting as well. That, you know, we talk about the consistency again, Kelly, as you said. The fact that you've got players here as well who managed to have a couple of great games with that last phase of the competition, SBG, makes this massive difference. Because, you know, I mean, you're getting, you know, I guess when they came aside 3rd, prize pool wise is enormous.
Put some respect on Trulex's name. That is all I gotta say. When people talk about the greats, no one ever talks about this guy because he just calmly, quietly goes about his job. Okay, maybe he hasn't won an FNCS in a while, but he's consistently in that top 10. Not even arguably. He is one of the best IGLs in the region. Winning back-to-back games on this stage is phenomenal, and Trulex gets all the respect. Chicho showing up too, like, no disrespect to him, but Trulex is the one that regularly doesn't get the love from the community, being as good as he is. And I love to see him up here in 3rd place, because these two easily could have given up after a couple of bad games to start, said, no way, I'm going to close this out. And not only that, but like, Trulex is an absolute beast, showing up in the biggest stage, clutching up the dub. And hey, everyone, I want all of you at home. Trulex is one of the best IGLs in the world, and you can no longer deny it.
I don't think anyone is. I mean, especially getting a 1v2 on Cammy and Seti for Victory Royale in like the final games. Absolutely incredible. And I believe we had from our stats team say that like, oh, there hasn't been a back-to-back Victory Royale in like the finals since the World Cup. And then we not only had it from Trulex and Chicho, but we also had it from Pixie and Cheatin. These two teams to get back-to-back VRs. It just like there was so much like incredible moments in these games. It just had it was so worth it. All like just going and having this journey for so long, literally at the start of this year in chapter 4, and to have it all come down to this incredible 6-game, 1-day tournament was so overwhelming almost.
I loved it. I thought the format, the structure this year with the majors and the calendar, everything leads towards kind of the latter half, the part of the year. I mean, look at everyone. It's just one of these things where I kind of feel that it was a great opportunity as well for players to evolve as the competition went along. Because I guess from a community standpoint as well here at SPG, the players were very much kind of really invested as well, because they knew that every performance they put in across the course of the year was going to lead towards this big kind of crescendo at the end. And there were these big moments. I mean, this is kind of we're seeing the creme de la creme of the Fortnite competitive world right now. Obviously, a multinational event with different players from all over the world coming together here, kind of collaborating and going into the same matchup, and big performances as mentioned. I think that there was I think King as well, one of these players that we've seen who has been so dominant. Over the last few years in the region, in South America and such, and then you see him, World Cup, and now here, still managing to pull out massive plays in the likes of global championships.
Yeah, hey, that is someone that is not afraid of the moment. There's certain players that show up when it's time. Some people get nervous. He is clearly not one of them. Just whenever the pressure is on, that's when he performs the most. And solid performance by them. I think they played well. Would have loved to see the Brazilian duos do a little bit better based on what we saw at the Invitational. I feel like I expected to see some of them up there in the top 10. I think Pegazine and Kitos in particular was the duo I was looking for the most. But nonetheless, I mean, we could clearly see the growth and development of some of the other regions, especially Brazil, and Asia as well has seemed to consistently show they're ready to play on a big stage.
Yeah, I mean, we did see a Brazilian team at the Invitational, PHZen's team, get that 5th place spot. And then for this one, it was Papa and Shalom from Japan getting that 5th place spot as well. So representing the smaller regions, I say with quotation marks, because honestly, a lot of them have so much to provide and to show up for in the competitions that we got to see, especially recently. For me, though, just having it be when we were in the stage and inside this incredible arena, like obviously we had the Gentlemates, this French community come out for the players.
Yeah.
But as the days went on, we also had a section for like the Brazilian players. There was a section for the Polish players, and like everyone started growing and building and representing their region. And that's what I love. I love that it's almost this Olympic style representing your region beyond just who you are as a player or who your org is or whatever. They are there to represent all of like South America or all of Asia for Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the Polish fans, the Polish Panthers, Cammy and Seti. I've coined that, Kelly, earlier this year at Gamers 8, the Polish Panthers. It's sticking. Do you know? I think with Cammy, the no scope Cammy pulled off was absolutely ridiculous. Donkulous. I don't even know how to describe this thing, SBG. I don't even know how you see this. It blows my mind.
I mean, there's a little bit of luck involved, but you also got to take the shot.
Come on.
You don't get to choose where the bullet goes, guys. Like, all right. Nonetheless, still impressive, still solid shot by them. But even more impressive to me is this duo over the past 2 years has proven to be the best duo in the world. Yes, they didn't win. They came in second, though, and they have the most consistent performances across the board out of everybody. Cammy seems to be an absolute beast when it comes to playing in-person events. I don't know what it is. Just talked about it for King, how he shows up in big-time moments, but Cammy is unbelievable. Seti has continued to perform, and I mean, even though this duo didn't win, they showed everyone exactly why they were one of the favorites coming in, doing their job. And a second place, even though in Fortnite everyone shows love to that first place, is still incredibly impressive.
And like what they did in day one, where they went down on drop the 50-50 for Frenzy Fields, and a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, is this the end for Cammy and Seti? I can't believe they just got eliminated on a team that was relatively unknown." And then to see them recover, and then in day 3, the actual finals day, to like dominate that drop spot, everyone was like, "Oh, this is the Cammy and Seti we knew." Like they had such a control on their drop. They knew exactly where they were landing. They knew exactly where the chest was for Cammy to get that sniper and to get any weapon that he landed on, so that every single 50-50 he had, he was prepped and ready to go because of that small little window in the barn. Those kind of minute differences and understanding the drop spot is the reason that they won the Invitational against Queasy and Vino, who wasn't fully aware of how the drop was, it worked and where you could place walls. I think that showcases just how detail oriented they are as a duo.
Yeah, and I think the fact they've been together for such a long time as well. You see many duos tend to switch partners and change things around quite regularly, but that experience, that breadth of knowledge that they've gained from the game and from each other as well is absolutely huge, and it's paying dividends because second place, I called them to win it. I didn't get too far off. But there were so many wonderful players involved in global championships, and I think we can agree that it was a spectacle like no other, and that's what we kind of hope for SPG. We hope for something which was going to blow us all away, and it did exactly that. And times infinity.
Yeah, I think if you're right in the script, it's wonderful. You just get to see all these different regions come together. You get to see some top level Fortnite. If you're a fan of the game, you loved what happened over the weekend worth of games, and I only hope that we get to see way more of that as often as possible.
I will say, from those clips we just watched of Malibuca and Thomas HD versus oh my goodness, I just forgot their name and I feel so bad. Someone help me. Thank you, Kanata and Agers. Oh my gosh, Landing Racetrack. I know the POI, but I don't know their names. I like to talk about the meta within the tournament itself. Obviously there's a meta in Fortnite, but the meta of Racetrack and watching these two duos go back and forth, where Malibuca and Thomas HD won day 1, but then gosh, you just can't let Kanata go on his own. You could tell that he just didn't care day 3, and I think a lot of that is part of the reason why they won that 50-50.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about moments that have happened in this competition till the end of time. I mean, there were so many of them and so many massive duos. But congrats to our winners again, Cooper and Miro. Absolutely unbelievable scenes. And do go and watch it back if you haven't done so. Go and watch the all 3 days, because every single day it was a great showcase of the competitive quality of players. And if you're an aspiring player, what you could do and maybe bring into your game as well here. Now, one of the big things, obviously, on the drop spot, which I get really excited about all the time. Here we go. If you're watching us, you can see SPG and Kelly. This is their favorite part. They're really excited about this too. And if you're listening, hey, come and check out the video too anytime you'd like to. We have our fantastic, our brilliant, our incredible, our monumental drop spot quiz. Here we go. We're going to do it. And it's all themed around global championships. So it's going to perfect. Okay. So here's how it's going to work. If you are brand new to this, I'll go through the rules very quickly. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. I'm going to ask each of SPG and Kelly a multiple choice question. 3 questions each. You get 3 questions each. It's multiple choice. There's a few options for them. At the end of those 3 questions, if they are tied, then we are going to do a tiebreaker question. The tiebreaker question is just a case of whoever gets the closest is the winner. Okay. We'll probably just do it anyway, because it's always a laugh and we love it, and we know you guys do too. Okay, so that's how it's going to roll. Kelly, I'm going to ask you the question first. Your very first question. You ready for this?
Oh yeah, no, but let's do it anyway.
You got this. Okay, here we go. All right, question 1 for Kelly. Here we go. Which region won the most games at global championships? Was it EU or NA? EU or NA? Which region won the most games at global championships?
Is this over all 3 days or in the final day?
Yes, overall.
I'm going to say EU.
Okay. SPG, what would you have chosen had it been you?
I would say the same.
With 9 games, overall. EU is the correct answer, Kelly. Let's go. Point on the board. Love to see it. Okay. Okay, you can breathe now. You can shake it off. Shake it off. Okay, you can shake it off. Okay. SBG. Kelly takes a 1-0 lead. This is to tie things up here. All right. SBG, your question. Which duo captured the island the most times? Was it Mshari Ru, Hen Vask, or Misha Tini? Which was the duo that captured the island the most times?
That's a tough one. What are the options again?
Mshari and Ru, Hen and Vask, and Misha and Tini. If I'm butchering names, do forgive me.
I'm gonna go Misha and Tini. Final answer.
Misha and Tini. Would you have gone any differently, Kelly? Would you have gone for the same?
I was also going to go for Misha Tini.
Okay. The correct answer, a total of 3 times, was Hen and Vask.
Oh,
it was
no!
Hen and Vask. SBG drops a point. I can't believe it. The world are in shock right now. The world are in shock. Okay. It's 1-0 to Kelly. It remains 1-0. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Here we go, Kelly. It's like a 2-0 lead after round 2. SBG starting to feel the pressure. I can see it. His brow starts to get the bead of sweat starting to drip. I can see it. Okay. Question 2 for Kelly. Which of the 4 smaller regions had the most duos qualify for the final? So which of the 4 smaller regions had the most duos qualify for the final? Was it OCE, Asia, ME, or BR?
I think it was BR. Final answer.
Final answer, BR. Okay. Locking it in. SBG. If it was your question, where would you have gone?
Asia had 5. They had the most.
Shoot.
Okay. The correct answer with 4.
Oh, I can't count.
Was Asia. It was Asia. So you would have got that correct, SPG, had it been your question. Kelly, sadly, that's incorrect. But still a 1-0. You're in the lead.
It's okay.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Calm.
See, I need Kelly's question. Can we switch this?
Definitely not, because we're halfway through. So absolutely not. And of course, you guys at home as well, play along with us as well. I know you guys do every week as well, but see if you get any of these correct too. Okay, question number 2 for SBG here. Which duo won the most games? Which duo won the most games? Was it
Across
Pixie
the tournament?
Yep, for the tournament, yeah. Which duo won the most games?
Pixie Cheatin. I don't need all the answers. Pixie Cheatin. Final answer.
He's done that thing on traditional game shows where he hasn't even heard the answers and he's jumped in. Mate, Pixie Cheatin wasn't even one of the options.
Yeah, it is. You were just
saying. I'm joking. Okay. Damn it. Okay, Pixie Cheatin, Bryce Chubbs, Truex Chico. The correct answer was Pixie Cheatin had 3, 1 in the lowers and 2 in the final. The others all had 2. Mate, do you know what? Fair play. He's jumped in there, Kelly. He has jumped in and tied things up. 1-1. Okay. I know that. I applaud the fact, SB, you just jumped in there. I applaud it. But was it too gutsy? Was it too gutsy a move? We'll see. Okay,
I got it wrong. Yeah, it was. But
maybe it was. But we'll see if the bravado is going to pay. It's going. Maybe things are going to go wrong for you in this question. We'll see. Kelly, question 3 for you. Canada is the only player to have played in every single FNCS final. How many finals have there been? Is it 18, 19, or 20?
20.
Okay. That's your final answer, locking it in?
Yes.
And SPG, what would you have said?
18.
Okay. The correct answer was 20.
Yes!
It was 20. Yes! It was 20.
Sorry. Whew. Hopefully my neighbors aren't awake right now. Okay. Woo!
Kelly has just got her second point, but she will be evicted later today. That's it. I love that reaction as well. Leapt off the chair. Love to see that. That's great. Just to say, we have Epic Whale, Spy, Booger, Kittos, Worthy, and Mr. Savage on 19. But there have been 20, and that came from Canada. Okay. So SBG, this is to take it to a tiebreaker. Okay. This is the big one.
What do we got?
What do we got? Okay. Who holds the record for the most top 10s in FNCS finals? Who holds the record for the most top 10s in FNCS finals? Is it Thomas HD, Worthy, or Epic Whale? Thomas HD, Worthy, or Epic Whale? Who holds the record for the most top 10s in FNCS finals?
Oh,
we need some dramatic music, like a clock.
It's either Worthy or Epic Whale? Oh, I'm gonna go Epic Whale just because he's won 6, so that's at least 6 of them.
Are we 100%?
I'm not changing my answer.
Okay. So one player had 13, one had 14, and one had 15. The player with 14 was Thomas HD.
Okay.
The player with 13 was Epic Whale. Worthy had the 15. I'm so sorry. Kelly is our winner. Kelly gets she's got the 2-1.
Where's my trophy? Where's my trophy?
In the post. I mean, let's not get carried away here, Kelly. I haven't put a trophy together. I clapped. That's what we arranged. But
why am I here?
Shall we play a tiebreaker? So kind of like just for fun. Okay, we'll play a tiebreaker.
I lost.
Okay. You lost. Yeah. It's whether Kelly wants to put this all on the line here and tie things up if you get this one correct.
Oh, no.
Okay, no, obviously not.
But we can still do the question.
I got really excited. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So the tiebreaker question is this, and again, you guys at home listening or watching, play along too here. How many reboots were there across the 3 days of the competition? How many reboots were there across the 3 days of competition?
Should I write down an answer and then show it?
There's no multiple choice, but the people who are listening can't see the paper that you're going to write it on. But you can tell me in a second. Okay, so I'm going to ask, because SBG, usually what happens is here on the show, someone will say an answer and the other person goes either higher or lower than that. So I'm going to ask you first because you only had the 1 point. How many reboots were there across the 3 days of competition global championships? What do you reckon?
Wait, we can write it down and then okay. But
I'm going to say 11.
11 reboots over 18 games?
Yes.
Okay, you don't get to change your answer.
I think those baby bottles have got to your head, my friend. Okay, 11. That's fine. Okay, 11 there. Locking in 11. Kelly, what will you say?
36.
36. Well, one of you is definitely closer.
Not me.
The correct answer.
I just realized the math makes no sense for 11, but continue.
And for someone who loves doing maths, you love a bit of maths on the drop spot. The correct answer is 79 reboots across 3 days. 79.
That was close.
I should have just done Price is Right rules and just gone one over what SBG said.
You should have done that, but I think 36 it was a good shout, but it was 79 in total there. So 11 was a little bit wild, but hey, we live and we learn. SBG, we live and we learn. Hey.
I was just about to say, SBG, me and Vivid had a math competition during Globals, and I beat him. So, just saying, as far as, you went up against a champion.
Don't mess with Kelly in math.
Don't mess with Kelly Link. She got all the numbers. All the numbers. Well done, you guys. That was great. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well at home. How did you do? Let us know on socials as well how you got on. Did you get all of them correct? To let us know across the 6 questions and the tiebreaker too. Right. Let's also talk about what is also coming our way. 2023 format, the future of Fortnite competitive too. Because obviously we're not too far away from another new year, a new structure of how the calendar is going to pan out for players here. Let's take a look at other things that are happening. We've had solo victory cash cups, duo zero build cash cups, all sorts of things. Some of the highlights for you, SBG. First, what's been kind of like the big thing 2023 that you've really enjoyed seeing kind of like unfold for players?
I think just having a year culminating in the biggest event. Like, I love that each season we played for the FNCS championship. And then each season, players advance to now globals, and then we have something more to play for. Just having overarching goals for these players to try and achieve, one, helps them. I think it's really important to set goals regardless of what you do in life. And then having that goal of making globals throughout the year is awesome. Then having a goal of whatever you want to achieve at global championship, hey, it may or may not have happened, but nonetheless, I think it's awesome to see just the continuation of the storylines, the players putting in that effort day in, day out throughout the year to have it all come into play and celebrated at the Global Championship.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the FNCS had such an incredible story as far as from start to beginning of how it like the journey it took to get to the final day. Like not even just like majors 1, 2, and 3 last chance, but also days 1, 2, and 3 for the global championships. It was such an incredible story. But I also loved the other side of the coin of how many unique tournaments Fortnite was running throughout the year, whether that was the Solo Victory Cups, the Cash Cups, the variety that we got to see through everything. I love that there's just new opportunities and new ways for newer players to kind of jump into the scene and get their like kind of dip their toe into the competitive water.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that's one of the great things this year. I mean, we saw Victory Cash Cups as well, given thousands of players the opportunity to kind of earn, get their first earnings as well. I mean, we saw that different, ranked mode came into proceedings. We saw loads of opportunities here for newer players to get into the competitive scene. I mean, it's been really exciting to see. I mean, we have creative competitive as well. There's lots of developing there too. I mean, I think for the future of things, I mean, even the mix up Mondays has been great fun as well. I mean, SBG, there's been loads, I think, for players to kind of see the variety available now, and I think it's been really showcased brilliantly. And you can find these all obviously when you can log into the game. But I think it's really exciting to see what 2024 is going to look like if you comparatively to what has been a tip top 2023.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I'm sure soon enough we'll know exactly what's coming in 2024. All I ask,
rubbing our hands. I was going to say we're rubbing our hands in anticipation, going, can't wait.
I just want to see. Hopefully, we get a team mode. That's like my only ask, and then something similar to what we saw this year with like multiple FNCSs leading into a global style championship. Call it whatever you want. All I want to see is all the players in one place from all over the world playing against one another. And then I'm going to ask for like an all-star event midway through, bring all the players in, have some fun, maybe in Raleigh, because I'm a little biased. It was really cool in Raleigh. That was fun. And just do some like skills challenges, maybe a little solo event, something along those lines. That is what I would love to see. I saw a lot of buzz about that throughout the community after Globals, but all I know is everyone gets the post Globals like vibes, and as many times as we can get that per year, the better.
I mean, honestly, SBG, that sounds amazing to me. I would love more in-person events. I think that it brings such a level of energy. It allows the fans to interact and be a part of the show. The amount of people that I got to watch get just swarmed by fans for pictures and autographs, not even just the players, but also the talent. One of my favorite moments actually was that I got to interview Flois, a Fortnite pro from Copenhagen, or from Denmark, I should say. And we got to do it on the main stage. And as soon as we wrapped up the interview and he walked off, I kid you not, 40 kids ran up and swarmed him. I actually took pictures of it. It looks like a zombie apocalypse, just begging her for his autographs. And to have that opportunity is so incredible.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. There is something that just hits different about being there, and not just for the fans, not just for the broadcast team, but for the players too. I think the players actually being there, rubbing shoulders with each other, and being in the same space. I think it's really exciting for I guess new aspiring players as well, because getting to rub shoulders, you manage to qualify for something like global champs, whatever it might be, or a competition. To be there around the players, we talked about Miro and Thomas HD and Kanada and all these players that have become such a pivotal part of what is the game today competitively. To be there in the same space is inspiring. I think it's really exciting. I think those events getting together, I mean, are really great, Kelly.
I just wanted to add Acorn and Cold. You look through their like personal history. There's definitely some some, I don't want to say animosity, but obviously some disagreements. And to see them up on stage, just showering each other with praise and like confidence in saying that this is one of the best players in the world. I'm so glad that they get to be my partner. That like being in person just adds so much more to that. So I completely agree with what you're saying, Adam. Like it's not just for the fans and the viewers, but also these players being in person. It's such a huge moment.
Yeah, you love to see it, especially like the new and upcoming players when they get to like walk in. And it's like that's really Booga over there. I'm about to play against Booga, and then it's like, oh, he's actually just a person. He's really nice, and he spoke to me, and we had a great conversation. Like I think just any kind of camaraderie between the community is awesome, and getting to meet your idols who then now become not your rivals but your competitors is a really cool experience for a lot of these young players.
Yeah, and they'll never forget it. They'll never forget it. I mean, I know neither will you guys too, because 2024, I'm sure, will have tons of these big moments too. But it's been a superb 2023 thus far. However, 2023 isn't over just yet. There are still a few things going on that you can definitely kind of keep tabs on, because, Fortnite never sleeps. Fortnite never sleeps, okay? You got ourselves lots to look forward to. Console Champions Cup is right around the corner. Build and Zero Build starting on Friday with a $250,000 total prize pool. I mean, Kelly Link, that is a redonkulous amount of money.
Listen, it's a lot of money. We saw how strong controller players, not necessarily console players, but controller players. We had 10 controller players in the Global Championship Finals, which is honestly like pretty absurd to have 10% of the population being competing on that level. But also, just looking at the console championships and looking at the most recent performance, I mean, I see some big names up on top, and I'm wondering if they're going to show that, like, hey, I can win it all.
I would expect we would know who the people are that win those events. There's not a ton going on right now, so I've seen plenty of posts from different players looking for duos for that event.
Let me ask you both here as well. I mentioned build and zero build. Kelly, SPG, what would be your preferred mode? What would you play? Would you jump in with 2 feet into builds, Kelly?
No. No, why are you laughing?
No.
I didn't even say anything,
I'm not laughing.
Adam.
I just saw something really funny. There's a clown over there. Yeah.
Are you talking about me?
I didn't say I'm a clown.
Yeah, SPG. I didn't realize you changed your job. Clown school's very serious, and there's not too many of them, so good job. I can't play build. I've tried so hard to crank 90s. I just can't. I actually do play a ton of zero build and have had relative success, when they added zero build duos ranked and made it to silver. Woo! Super strong. But I do love it. I enjoy it. If I were to compete, it would definitely be with zero builds.
SPG, I dare I say, I mean, you're a big zero builds fan. I know that, but builds is probably where you'd go.
Yeah, once I finish clown school, I'll be able to play some more Fortnite. But yeah, I would go builds, finish 1,422nd, and perform pretty well. I think that would be a win.
Okay, I like that. I like that confidence. And I mentioned Mix Up Mondays earlier, but we've got one more Mix Up Monday and a Duo Cash Cup next week as well. Which SPG, great opportunities there as well to kind of see some real fun competitive play coming our viewers' way.
Yeah, I think Cooper was going to do some kind of fun stream with some EU players where him and another NA player were going to communicate instead of the EU players, which just sounds like a fun way to play the game. So, going from Global Championship to now kind of just having fun, trying to reenact, not reenact, but like be the communication while these other two are just muted in call, hoping that these guys actually help them. It should be a lot of fun to watch.
It should be. I mean, you can see Cooper as well. Ever since that interview we heard and watched earlier on the Drop Spot today, the fact that Cooper has got this entire world in front of him now. He's a global champion, and the world is oyster, and it's just going from strength to strength. So make sure to tune in to all the different players who took part here, and you can look for tips, a way you can get ahead as well. There are loads of opportunities to play Fortnite competitive these days. As we wrap things up here on the Drop Spot this week, I'll ask you both very quickly: where can we find you online, Kelly? SPG. Kelly, where do you reside on the internet?
I'm at Hello Kelly Link on almost all social media, but I'm here right now. If you guys want to watch some Fortnite and stuff, go watch some VODs because you'll see my face.
SPG.
And I guess it's my turn. So at Somebody's Gun on X, or I have my own podcast where I talk to some awesome people in the space. Just had 11-2K on there. It's called the Fortnite story, or the FN story. Sorry. You can check that out as well. That's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Love
it. Guys, it's been amazing. This has been really fun getting the gang together here and talking about global champs, which we all enjoyed so much. For you guys as well, listening or watching at home, thank you so much for being here on the Drop Spot. As always, we cannot wait to see you very, very soon. Till then, take care. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Carlos bless. Trust a lip stellar and a dollar dress. Loosen my collar, I'm on your neck. Head first you fell from the sky. I rose up from the bottom in the dark. I'll never beg your pardon, I'm just making my way up. The deep end makes it shallow, faint no heart. Can follow who you follow, I'm alone on my way round. To the top, to the top, to the top, to the top. So let me we are who we are. We carry the light, the fight for life. So let me we are who we are. Last place, they went missing. Got lost in my lane, I dismissed them. I want them, don't move, they don't listen. Now it's drastic, walking with a bang. Salty like they bang. Head up in my face, no space, put it up, I don't fade. I ain't missing no shot, cause I'm always in range. To the top, to the top, to the top, to the top. So let me we are who we are. We carry the light, the fight for life. So let me we are who we are. To the top, to the top, to the top, to the top. So let me we are who we are. We carry the light, the fight for life. So let me we are who we